Essentially what Real has done is they've taken their entire marketing budget and they're giving it back to the agents who are growing this company one agent at a time. And I love this model. One, is proving incredibly effective and cost efficient for the company, but there's a lot of benefits to this.
When I first heard of the concept of revenue share from a real estate brokerage, I was extremely skeptical and didn't think it would ever be something that would benefit my business. I had no interest in being a recruiter and was busy and content to simply sell real estate, keep my head down, and do my own thing. I also thought that the revenue share model sounded a whole lot like a pyramid scheme, which again, I wanted nothing to do with. Over the years, however, I've had my eyes open, I guess you could say, to the potential of building a secondary, essentially passive stream of business and income through revenue share, but it was extremely important to me to believe in the company that I would be attracting agents to. I am so glad that I discovered Real Broker over any of the alternatives because the culture of the company is something I can absolutely get behind. And so today I actually have a special guest, Malcolm Lawson, with me to help explain the revenue share model and how it can benefit your business while you're still just selling real estate, looking into the future, and how it can actually become a source of income for you after you retire.
Thank you so much for joining me today, man. Good to have you on again. So let's just dive kind of right into the meat of this, and let's talk about why the revenue share model at Real is not a pyramid scheme.
Damn, you're asking the hard questions right out of the gate there, man. Yeah, great
wants to know.
Great question, man. And so the way I look at it is that every company has some sort of marketing or growth model or expenses, right? Maybe a company will allocate 25% of their income just to marketing expenses to grow that company. And their strategy could be running Facebook ads or running billboard ads or TV commercials in order to grow the company. And essentially what Real has done is they've taken their entire marketing budget and they're giving it back to the agents who are growing this company one agent at a time. And I love this model. One, is proving incredibly effective and cost efficient for the company, but there's a lot of benefits to this. And so one of them is that when an agent comes into the company, they know at least one person in the company. Pretty much everybody has a sponsor when they come into the company. You know at least one person. And that has a lot of positive benefits for the agent coming in. They have an additional resource that they can talk with and collaborate with and ask questions to. For the agent themselves, who are the sponsor of that person, you now have an additional stream of income into your business. And you know how the real estate market goes, ups and downs, and having an additional stream of income is incredibly beneficial for our businesses as well. And then when you look at the benefit to Real, the benefit is that the person coming in has a sponsor, so agent retention goes up. It goes up for both of those agents, and the company is growing as well. It's a very cost effective model for this company. So there is just a lot of benefits to this growth model in comparison to running ads. And so you ask, how is this not a pyramid scheme? Well, the truth is that our culture is not really focused on recruiting, right? Leadership doesn't talk about recruiting. They don't talk about rev share. Most agents here at the company are producing agents, the vast majority of them. And rev share is just an option. It's available to everybody. And for most people who collect rev share, it's nothing crazy. It's not a full-time income, right? It's just an extra couple grand a year, maybe $10,000, $20,000 a year in rev share. And it's just from them just kind of going throughout their businesses, maybe having a conversation with every person that they do a transaction with or people that meet at open houses. It's not a huge focus for a lot of agents. And now we have co-sponsorship as well, where somebody can come in and put two different people down as their sponsor. And I love that because it really just spreads the wealth around a lot more. And again, it gives that agent coming on, additional resources. So I would say that's kind of why we're not a pyramid scheme, right? Because the company is barely focused on it. We're really not focused on rev share. And there is just a lot of value for the company, for the sponsor, and for the sponsoree in having, a sponsor into the company.
Awesome, man. Thank you. So let's talk about kind of how the model actually works. If you can kind of go into detail into the tiers and how it plays out from, let's just say, an agent who's producing real estate, he's selling real estate, but then you started having conversations, like you said, kind of natural, organic conversations with people. They're interested about joining Real, and you end up starting bringing some people, into your organization and your team. Talk about how that works and how you end up making money as a result.
Yeah. So, Real Broker collects 15% of every commission that an agent makes until they cap, and the cap's $12,000. And if you are responsible for bringing an agent into the company, they'll give you 5 of that 15%. Okay. So you'll make 5% of every transaction that somebody you bring into the company until they cap. And so that works out to about $4,000 a year that you can make off of each agent that you direct sponsor into the company. You keep making it year after year. Now, we do have a multiple tier structure to this as well. And so if you bring in an agent, they'll be in your tier 1. You get 5% of anything that they make until the cap. If they bring in an agent, that person that they bring in will be considered in your tier 2. You'll make 4% of every commission that they make until they cap. If they bring in somebody, it'll be in your tier 3. You'll make up to 3% every year until they cap. And if they bring somebody in, be tier 4, you make 2%. And anybody they bring in will be in your tier 5, and you make 5% of every commission until they cap. Now, when you first join, your tier 1 benefits are automatically unlocked. Anybody you bring in, you'll make 5% of every commission until they cap. In order to unlock your tier 2, 3, and 4, 2, 3, 4, and 5 benefits, you need to unlock those. And you unlock those by having a certain number of producing agents in your tier 1. And to be considered a producing agent is super simple. Real counts that as anybody who pays $450 into company dollars every 6 months. So what that means is they have to earn at least a $3,000 commission, and you take 15% of that. That's $450 to go. So the company has a company dollar. So essentially, they need to earn a $3,000 commission every 6 months to count as a producing agent to unlock your tiers. And so right now, you need 5 producing agents in your tier 1, which is not hard. And then that'll unlock all your tier 2 benefits into the company. So anybody that's on your tier 2, you start getting that 4% of every commission that they close. Then you need 15 producing agents in your tier 1 to unlock your tier 3 benefits, 20 agents in your tier 1 to unlock your tier 4 benefits, 25 agents, producing agents in your tier 1 to unlock your tier 5 benefits. And then at that point, you'll get revenue share on all 5 tiers. And for the vast majority of agents who could get rev share, the truth is maybe they have 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 agents in their tier 1, right? Most people don't have these huge, massive downlines. Most people are just going throughout their working days or growing a business and just kind of naturally attract people and naturally have conversations. And this is just kind of a small additional stream of income to them. However, if you really want to focus on this, you can build out a really big downline and get some pretty significant revenue share from this. Like I said before, I'm making a full-time income off of rev share at this point. And I know quite a few agents at this company that are making a full-time income off of this model as well.
Wow. That's amazing. And really cool, just an interesting, I think it's an interesting model. But it's not a unique model. Other companies also offer revenue share and profit share. So what makes Real different? What makes the culture of Real different, even from the ground up? And in terms of the payouts, is Real better or is it worse than some of the other companies that offer these similar models?
Yes, I believe Keller Williams is probably the first company to offer what they call profit share.
Yep.
And it's kind of like the first iteration of this. And, it's cool, but there are definitely some flaws with their model. One is that you bring an agent in and you only get paid if the brokerage, the franchise brokerage that they go to is profitable. Then you only get a small percentage of it, and that fluctuates a lot. And there used to be big issues with brokers fudging the numbers to make it look like they're not profitable, so they wouldn't have to pay out profit share. Now, there are other companies that in our industry, cloud brokerages, that also have rev share. And a lot of those is really focused on the 1% of agents that have huge downlines. The rev share is really just structured for that top 1%. And they have, let's say 7 tiers, and they pay the most out on the 7th tier. The hardest tier to unlock is the one that they pay the most out on. There's one I'll just say it, EXP Realty.
We're all thinking it here.
Yes, they offer 7 tiers and they pay out the most on the 7th tier. What a lot of people don't tell you though is that you can look at the stats. They publish these stats of what percentage of agents actually receive rev share on their 7th tier. And the numbers that I saw from last year, I believe June 20, is that 0.06% of agents in the entire company ever receive rev share on their 7th tier. So this is about 60 agents out of 90,000 that ever receive 7th tier rev share. So it's a bit of a fantasy. It's so hard to unlock that if you're just joining right now. And so Real saw this. And so what they've done is say, okay, almost nobody gets rev share on the 7th tier. Almost nobody gets rev share on the 6th tier. We want to be a company for the agents. So let's just eliminate those 2 tiers. And instead, we're going to pay out more on those first 5 tiers. And so we pay out the most on your very first tier, the one that's automatically unlocked, the easiest one for you to actually focus on and build is where we pay out the most. And then your second tiers are second most, your third tier is third most, 4th tier and 5th tier, going down versus other companies that they pay out the most on the hardest tier to unlock. And that's because they're structured theirs for the top 1% of the company, where Real structured ours rev share for the average agent, and the vast majority agents who have some rev share at other companies, they would make way more money at Real Broker. But the truth is that top one, those 60 agents out of the 90,000 that do get 7th tier rev share, they will make more at EXP. But the 99% probably, would make more at Real Broker, or a significant portion of it at least. So Real Broker is really optimized for the average agent to make as much money as we can. And we also now have co-sponsorship, where when an agent joins the company, they can put 2 people down as their sponsor and their rev share gets split between the 2 of them. And here's what I love about this. I love a lot of things about this, but one thing I love is that it's going to spread that wealth out more. More agents at this company are going to receive revenue share because of co-sponsorship. And I love that. Like, they are really trying to optimize this company for the average agent, not optimize a rev share plan for the 1% of builders.
And the culture of the company actually protects against simply being a full-time recruiter. Talk about that a little bit, because that was one for me. That was one of the deciding factors in coming to Real over EXP, because I really loved what they've done at Real with the culture that is really focused on the local agent building relationships in his network, in his or her network, and just helping the company grow. And it just seemed like such a healthy model that I really love. So talk a little bit about that more.
Yeah, absolutely. So at Real, we do have a requirement that you also need to be a producing agent in order for you to receive revenue share. And they've done this because they don't want somebody who's a multi-level marketing expert, has never sold a home in his life, but going to get his real estate license just to come over to Real and try to recruit and attract people, even though they've never sold a home. So for you to get rev share, you have to be a producing agent. And I can't tell you how impactful that is on the culture of this company, on the community of this company. And yeah, it just has a huge positive impact. Now, in the end, we all have exit strategy out of this industry. We don't want to be selling homes forever. And so we actually do have a rev share retirement plan. So you have to be a producing agent to get rev share. But if you're a producing agent for 3 years, you can step out of production and still get 60% of your rev share. If you're a producing agent for 4 years, step out of production, get 80% of your rev share. And if you're a producing agent for 5 years, you can step out of production and then you get 100% of your rev share indefinitely, which I absolutely love. And so not only that, our rev share is willable as well. And the person that you will it to does not have to be a real estate agent. You can will it to a child or a grandchild. My son, he's autistic, has very severe intellectual disabilities. He's nonverbal. He's never going to go up and become a real estate agent. He may not even have a job, but right now, if I passed away, he would continue to get rev share. I've been with the company for 3 years right now. So I could pass away tomorrow. He would continue to get my rev share, indefinitely, as long as those agents are at the company. And that's huge. That relieves so much stress off my shoulders, right? This is practically a life insurance policy as well. And again, like that just says a lot about the culture of this company and the culture of the leadership that we have at this company. And I absolutely love it. I love the leadership that we have here, and I love the culture that we have around RevShare as well.
Yeah, totally. I love what you said. I love what it's done for your life, even in the 3 years that you've been here at the company. Like you said, looking at a potential retirement, or God forbid anything were to happen, to be able to have that peace of mind to know that, you can will the revenue share on to a loved one and collect it when you retire is game changing. I mean, it's game changing for this industry. You think about how many agents have zero retirement plan.
Yeah.
You think about how many agents don't know what they're going to do if they don't sell another house this month. To be able to have that additional stream of income is just huge. And I mean, I love it. I think it's a brilliant move for the company, but I also think it's incredibly brilliant what they did in terms of protecting the culture. And even in the ICA, there's stipulations about what you can and cannot do regarding revenue share. And that the integrity of this company and what they offer to the agents, it's sold me. And so, I love kind of hearing about the revenue share. I love thinking about the potential of what it's going to be. I know what it's going to be for my life. It's going to be huge potential, and what it already is for yours. And so, Malcolm, thank you so much for being here today. I definitely learned a lot. I hope that you watching learned a lot as well. And I truly appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on. I could talk about Real Broker all day. My life revolves around it at this point. I love this company so much. I'm super excited to be here. Super excited that you're here as well and helping us grow.
Absolutely, man. This will not be the last time that we talk and connect about Real, I'm sure.
Great, man. Look forward to it.
Cool. So as you can see, this revenue share model Real offers agents incredible opportunities to grow additional streams of income while you're still just selling real estate, which for me was exactly what I was looking for. And so honestly, it was a perfect fit. If you're interested in learning more about Real, you can actually schedule a call with me just by clicking the link right in the description below, answer more of your questions, and make sure to watch this video here where Malcolm and I talk more about the pros and cons of Real Broker.